Good morning. Saturday morning from Panama. And this will be ranty, I'm telling you. This is a ranty one. So if you don't like swear words and somebody ranting, it'll be a controlled rant. If I had done this last night when I wanted to do it, it would have been an uncontrolled rant because this one got me. This one always gets me because, again, it's a part of the plan. So today we're going to talk a little bit about fentanyl. Fentanyl, what the hell is that all behind that? Fentanyl, mental health issues, homelessness, and what I surmise as the plan for the homeless. Well, they come out and say what they're going to do with the homeless. So I was watching a video, actually, well, post that was put out by Christoff, my mentor. And in that particular list, there were different videos, and I'll put the link for that article and the different videos that he links. They're all very good. They're very informative. He listed a site, and this one was this particular video podcast that this gentleman, Chris Must List. And I'm going to link the video that I watched about my hometown, Barrie, Ontario. But he's going across the world, actually. This guy's been around the world. He's very cool. Feet on the ground. Real guy. Not a journalist, right? Just feet on the ground guy taking pictures and videos and talking to people. I like that. To me, it's authentic and it's real. So he did Barrie yesterday. And I had watched another one about Hamilton, Sudbury. These are all the towns that I grew up around. Well, I grew up in Barrie, outside of Barrie, about 10 kilometers outside of Barrie. And the devastation. And I've been telling people, again, when you come to a country like this and you tell people, and for people that are even there, because they've got this, can't see what's going on, and it's their problem. They're bad people, that's why they're there. No, they're not. So Barrie is just, oh my God. That town when I was young and growing up, and for years, was this awesome, beautiful downtown was all these really cool little shops, right? It was a little community. There were little bars and taverns that you could go to. Now, a long time ago I did that, but not for years. But it was thriving. It was alive. It was an alive. Now it's dead, like all the cities. They're dead. They're becoming more and more dead. Dead energy, dead people, and tons of people that are homeless have, because of that, we don't know we call it mental health. No, it's needs not being met. It is the complete and utter destruction of the social determinants of health that have created this. This is created. This is social engineered. What you're seeing, the destruction, and I know you all see it for you Canadians or wherever in the Western world, but for Canadians, I don't care where you fucking live, it's happening. And it's all fucking by design. All of it. It's just another arm of the eugenics fucking plan, right? You useless fucking eaters will be taken out of here. I told you to be ranty. Today I'm wearing my little heart that has the ashes of Neil, my eldest, who the 31st of January, it will be 9 years since he died in a war that he had no fucking idea that he was in, right? So it's a thing that's close to my heart. And so what has happened in Barrie that makes it unique, and you're going to see it spread to everywhere, because all the mayors are all like, with the UN sustainability and the Bill Gateses and the WEFs and the don't think they're not. That's where they started. They paid off the municipalities. That's where it came from. So they've called a state of emergency in Barrie because of the problem with the addiction, the homelessness, and the mental health. But really all it came down to is emergency powers to go in and just rip these fucking... There were campments everywhere. Right? So right near the heart of the downtown, there was one place called the Busby Center that at one time used to be a good place. I went there and did a placement there as I was finishing part of my upgrading my nursing, right? That it actually did what it was supposed to do. But then things came in and things were inverted, and now that's not the case. Now it's turned into a shelter. And there was where this one encampment on Mulcaster Street was near there. So a tent city. Of course, you got no fucking place to live. What are you going to do? Right? Then there was another one down sort of in behind where the Lakeshore Drive goes, this Milligan Pond area that had been there forever, right? Had been there for a very long time. Homelessness has been a problem in Barrie for a while. Let me tell you something else, though. COVID was like, wow. Wow, that took middle class people down into poor people, and the poor people that were just fucking holding on are the people, middle class, just paying all the fucking debts because they'd been given a string of fucking credit cards and this and that and loans, and they're now living in those. So there was an event that happened, and they knew this guy was out there fucking around, right? Who knows? Remember my thoughts on you can actually target individual people with this to do fucking all kinds of heinous shit. And I'm not saying I have no idea. Maybe the guy's just a fucking psychopath like his fucking people that master this world and felt that it was a good thing to kill his two friends, probably a drug debt. These are somebody's kids, mind you, all of them. They were children one day. What the fuck made them? And decapitated them. And I think he killed his girlfriend too at one of the other sites. So now they've gone and fucking taken them all out. They're all out. And they're going to do something temporarily with these people, I guess until wintertime. And then who knows? Right? You're going to take away the charitable statuses of churches. They're not going to be doing the out of the cold anymore. Right? So these people in these tent cities, a lot of them were there all winter. They've been there for a while. So they've survived a few fucking winters. Nobody put in fucking outhouses or anything like that. Maybe if you didn't want shit and piss and fucking whatever, maybe you go in and monitor a bit. Put somebody, but no, that would be leading them to stay. No, it isn't. They got no fucking where to go. They got nowhere to go in Barrie. You can't fucking afford to live there. My God, the prices. Where are they supposed to fucking go? Right? All the rooming houses where people lived, because I lived in that area. I lived just off the downtown area. I mean, as a kid, I used to go in all the time to this vibrant little town. That's where we went and did our shopping, right? But I raised my kids in Barrie, right? Commuted to Toronto, but raised my children right off the downtown core in this really cool little area. The YMCA was there. That's fucking gone. There's nothing for kids to do except go out and fucking get, whatever, drunk, high, fuck this, fuck that. They do. I'm going to link this fucking video. And I had already seen it, right? But not to the degree it is now. It's everywhere. They figure there's 600 to 700 homeless people in that town itself. Do you know where I live right now? Right? In Panama City, which is the size of Toronto, there maybe is 800 people. And they were going to figure out what they could do. You talk about very few. Very few. And at least in this climate, if the fucking things at night don't get you, it's warm. How many freeze to death? How many people OD in there? Right? What kind of rapes? What kind of shit is going on in these places? Where nobody's fucking, they know what's going on, but they're not doing anything. And the state of emergency gives them ultimate power. And they're not going to give it back. So, this is what look, do I want a homeless encampment beside me? No, but you gotta look. So in this video, we're at Chris, well, what are the solutions? When he talks to me, what should government do? Let me tell you, when my son died back in 2016 from this fucking lethal shit that was in the cocaine, should he been doing cocaine? Probably not. It killed him, right? He had a huge addiction problem, started with oxycodone when he was 15. So he always had this, right? Because it makes you feel good. That's why they fucking have it on the fucking market. Dead and shit, everything else. And pleasure. And the medical establishment will tell you you'll never get off of it. Well, you will. You know what you have to face? Pain. Pain. If you don't want to face pain, then you will be like all these zombie-eyed people. But let me tell you something. In 2015, a bomb fucking dropped. And that was when fentanyl hit the fucking street. I was working in the hospital. I remember when it happened. Right? There were 5 people that came in, I think it was November, getting near to, it might have even been December. And they bought cocaine off the street and it was laced with fentanyl, and these were the first. And then it just steadily got worse and worse and worse and worse. And we had doctors that were basically, because fentanyl used to be a patch thing, right? They were for people that were terminally ill, right? And then they sort of loosened up, but then they started blaming that, so they wouldn't allow people, they were getting really fucking iffy with who they'd give the fucking, so-called socially fucking acceptable drugs by the, the drug fucking pushers that are doctors, and push people into the street, into this fentanyl, this opiate, that's evil. It's evil. That's all it is. This thing fucking takes these people and the drugs that they, and I saw it with this. It does something else. We are dimensional beings. We live in a fluid field of energy, and we are energy, and these things have energy hooks in them that make it, when you see people, oh my God, when you see people that have been Narcaned and brought back, a little bit more of their mentation gone, and they become automatons just looking for the next high. And it's taking out your young, and it's not done by accident. This is not accidental. This is social engineering. So when I hear people, because people, oh man, sit committee, I didn't want to. I said, I'll go to one and I'll see if I can. This was after Neil died. I sat there and listened to all that. And I was like, you're all fucked. Your government did this. You fucking begging the government to fucking help you when they're the fucks that have fucking initiated this? They're a death cult. They are killing you. Canada is being killed in multiple dimensions. And the next thing they're going to do, so now they've pushed them out of the in-camp. They've let it happen, right? The governments are looked at being fucking inept. Police are inept. Everybody's inept. So you're going to get the AI fucking running it. And AI, in its, infinite wisdom about what is fucking efficient and not, and which is cost effective, because we're in the corporation of life and you must follow. Because AI, the fucking machine, says so. Then they're going to euthanize you. Because you don't offer anything in this world. And don't think it isn't in people's minds. Now, I read something, I can't find it. I read it yesterday. I should have saved it yesterday. But I was upset yesterday because I had watched the video of my hometown. And there was a young lad in that, right? They had built a little construction, him and a bunch of other guys. Some of them were working. They were working guys. He looked just like my son. About the same age. Yeah, so it hits me, right? It hits me. This shit hits me. Because it's all fucking engineered to take your kids out. Take your young ones out. Get them on drugs early. But this fucking notion that the government's going to help you. No, they're not. In Toronto, Big Death trolls in the homelessness areas. They troll those areas for these 2 death house that they have, right? Because they even say it in the Canadian policy horizons, which they look ahead. Their future, they're telling you your future. You want to know your future? Go fucking look at that. You'll know what they're fucking got in store for you. Right? But of course it's your fault because you're weak human beings and, you're just fucking inept. You should fucking bond with the machine and then you'll be super intelligent. You won't be like these, vessels that don't mean anything and don't think that that's not what they look at you as material blobs of shit and they turn you into what they think you are, right? Because they know how to fucking manipulate you. I see it. And it makes me sick. So people now turn a blind eye. They don't even see them and they hate them. Right? They have come to hate them. I'll tell you, the ER docs fucking hate them. They got no fucking sympathy for older, the disabled, the mental health people, older people. They have been fully fucking mind washed to believe that they're going to fucking crash the fucking hospital. This is the whole thing. They have fucking meetings out there. Get the whole hospital there. And this was Janice Scott. We must save the hospital. Collectivism at its fucking finest. I would tell people this is what fascism is. Oh, Barrie, why don't you tell us how you really feel? It's the same with my son died, right? And what I saw then, and I was telling people, the government did this, all of it. It's all fucking a big profit making, harvesting the fucking organs. Oh my God, the evilness of it. So some are just so fucking stupid, they go along with it and believe that authority, like, what is the government going to do about it? Well, the government now is going to euthanize you. They're going to round you fucking up. They're going to make the net of the cage The issue of homelessness is multi-pronged. And where do we got to stop looking at it's you that are the problem to looking up the fucking stream to see what is happening in society that is causing this. Because let me tell you something. Where I am now, where there is community, I'm not saying there's not addiction. Of course there is, right? Alcohol's a biggie here. Cocaine's a biggie here. Marijuana's everywhere. It'll become legal here, right? But fentanyl hasn't hit the fucking street yet. They haven't fucking unloaded that fucking dose of fucking misery on people yet. And another thing here, that you go to a doctor will not prescribe you opiates. If you, not that I know from my own experience, but from someone I know who has had some issues with pain and teeth, and they don't, well, because that's the bit in it. Neil was 15 when he got his, from a really badly sprained ankle from playing baseball, and he was never the same after it. And, you know, high school, for him was just like training ground on doing more drugs. Not to say that I was a good influence, I wasn't in my day, but I made myself a better influence, right? I stopped the drugs, I stopped the alcohol, I got healthy, I became more aware of myself, right? But that couldn't stop the trauma and the damage that was done to both my children from the lifestyle that I was socially programmed into, right? That they have been socially programmed into. This whole fucking notion that your government gives a shit. No, they don't. They're killers. They kill people, right? This is eugenics. This is all eugenics. Big death, harvesting of organs, turning it into a fucking, we're living in a fucking corporation. Right? And it's a death corporation. And it's old. It is a death corporation. That's all I have to say about it. Right? So about a quarter of Canadians feel that, and who knows, again, these statistical thing, but again, it's the implanting the idea, even if the information is completely fucking made up by AI, it plants the thought in your mind. So a quarter of Canadians think that it is a nice thing to give people MAID, the medical assistance in dying. So, and when I go there to Canada, I see in Canada, people have become, because of what COVID did, and it was already happening anyway, right? This moving away from people, this fear of everything, fear of people, fear of going out, fear of that. It's a nasty world. It's a terrible world, blah, blah, blah. And then COVID hit. And really what happened was people that were holding on paycheck to paycheck, many people, right, were the non-essential. And so they didn't get a paycheck anymore, right? And so they internalized that they were not essential beings anymore, right? Weren't, and that has just continued, and lost their job. It happened again when I saw it, sort of the first time that I was aware of it. And you could see the changes of what it did societally in the area I lived in, Barrie. Barrie was manufacturing. It's a manufacturing area, tons of factory. So these were unskilled jobs, but they paid really, really well. General Tire was one of them, right? Paid very well, usually had pensions. People would start there when they were young. They'd work their whole lives there, right? So Barrie was very affluent, right? It was predominantly middle class, right? Were there drugs? Yeah, alcohol, big drugs. Simcoe County has always been a big alcohol area, right? But people were affluent, right? And then that was eradicated as they started, these free trade deals that moved, of course, for manufacturing to countries that didn't have any rules or regulations and paid everybody like shit. Again, though, it was to start to chip away at the middle class and take them down. They had allowed them to create the honey. Now it was time to steal it. And they don't steal it overt. They do it very covertly, and they're really fucking good at it, right? So people lost their jobs. Then there was a crisis with the economy, and then interest rates went really, really high. Lots of people lost their houses. I can remember 84, you'd look at the parks and stuff like that in Barrie, and they couldn't be cut. But I'll tell you, there were not a homeless encampments. But that took a chunk of money, and it moved those that were in middle class positions, a lot of them moved into a lower socio-economic, and never came back from that. So you got this first wave of homelessness, predominantly men, but young men, right, that could not find any work. Well, now there's no work. There's no work. AI is taking over a lot of things. These people, many of them, from years of being on the street and from the drugs that they're taking. So even one Narcan, so you've died basically, and then they bring you back. They bring you back if they can get you with Narcan. The brain damage, you've been spent a period of time without oxygen to the brain. So it's hypoxia. So basically it's just another way to lobotomize people, right? Turn them into zombies, because that's what they become. Zombies looking for the next hit. And you know, there were three that my son, there was my son, and then another girl, great friend of ours, like a family member, has done well, right, but has lost a lot of friends to it. And then another one, these three used to hang out, the other one is caught in it. Child that had to be given up, problems with the child's mentation because of the drug addiction, continued drug addiction, can't get away from it. Number one, it's a lifestyle, it's a community. It is a community. There's a sense of community there, right? A shared community, and also you're in survival mode. So you're constantly, you can't think about the larger issues that are happening in the world. You are in this survival mode, and there's something that keeps that, put it this way, what I met, because I worked with a lot of in my work, you couldn't take it out of them. There's almost this, you couldn't take the homelessness out of them. Some escape it and do very well. I did, because there was a period of time when I was homeless, right? Or in crisis centers for battered women, right? Where I had no home, right? I was lucky that I made it out, because there is this, what can I say? It becomes, if you're just existing, there is something that reinforces that when something happens, when you get, so this happens, reinforcing, and then, so there's this reinforcement, so principles of learning that keep it tightly in. And so that's hence why it's so difficult to know what to do. Just giving somebody housing, I saw it in Toronto, because I was a group of people that I worked with, because I worked with mental health and addictions and elderly, the same people that they're going to euthanize and are euthanizing, right? The problems are complex, but the problems that person's behavior is manifesting is a societal problem. If you take hope away, you take this away, you lodge fear, you have chaos, you can't make enough money to earn enough. They give you a stipend, like people that are on welfare or on mother's allowance, those type of things. Those again are very reinforcing, right? This money coming in, it's very hard to break the cycle of that. It becomes an addiction, and we cycle into that, especially when the brain is not functioning right and they've hollowed out the prefrontal cortex and the hippocampus. So you are literally making zombieized people from everything that you're doing in Canada, right? Because there is no community cohesion anymore. Nobody can be cohesive with anybody. Maybe just sit and ridicule the fucking people that you hate. Maybe they do that, right? Most people are so fucking apathetic. The apathy and the invisibility. People are become, do you know what it's like? I do, because in Canada I'm invisible. I'm old. You're invisible. I don't want to fucking look at you. You're old. We don't want to get old. We're not going to get old. We're going to put fucking machine parts in us and fucking live forever. So they think, right? So invisibility itself, when I go there, to be invisible, here I'm seen, I'm a person. People say hello to me, right? I engage with people. There's happiness. Because here they haven't broke the social bonds. They wouldn't think to fucking euthanize people. That would be, why would you do that? Who do you fucking think you are to play God? But you know what? Our medical system will gladly do it. Because they don't see anything as a fucking meat suit that's taken up resources that could be better for those that are deserving. The deserving and undeserving. The same fucking mentality. You deserve, you do not deserve. You're essential, you're non-essential. We'll plant that in your fucking head. And before that all happens, we'll give you a raft of fucking credit cards and credit lines and fucking give you a fucking loan for this, and the other thing, and give you a big fucking mortgage that you can't afford. And then when the bottom falls out, we'll fucking pull it all out and blame you. And then when you went out, you listen to the stories of these peeps that are on the street. Are there violent ones? Yes. But most of them, just see the old men, right? And to see men that aren't very old and how old they look, right? And what it's like being on the street. Some of them are like children because of this infantilization and what brain damage does, and don't think that they won't be feasted on. Some of them live independent. They'll live off in the bush, not in these big encampments, right? They'll probably stay there until they're rounded up, but they will be rounded up. And these states of emergencies, basically, Canada's the test site. And Canada, when I lived in my little old house, right, just off the downtown, something was screaming at me in my intuition for a couple of years. You got to sell this. You got to get it cleaned up. You got to sell, and you got to get out of here. Because I could sense that something, I said it 6 months before it happened, something really bad is going to happen. I can fucking feel it, right? When COVID hit, now thank God the house was pretty much sold at that point. Sold in 3 days, by the by. Thank God. I've ridden the fucking... I had to nail my fucking windows shut because when COVID hit and they shut everything down, all the street people that would be out there fucking panhandling for money, no money. What do you think that fucking does? What do you think? Do you blame them? They're fucked up. They don't know. They just want what they want. They have to have it. Because if not, the pain is too intense and they've never ever understood how to deal with pain, or they're so deeply traumatized they cannot fucking look at it. So they started breaking and enter, right? My house, they tried a couple of times. Thank God. This one door that they had tried to get in had been unlocked the night before. I had forgotten it. Right? I never forgot it after. And I had all these the house was 165 years old. It was beautiful. I loved it. Right? I had to nail the fucking windows shut. This blight, this Wetiko blight is everywhere. So, that's my rant for today. As I come up to the 9th anniversary of my son's death and I see what they're fucking doing. As I said, it's the Fourth Reich. It's the same energy as fucking Nazi Germany. It's the same energy that was during the Spanish flu. It's the same energy that has been dominating our world for long enough, right? Don't fall for the bullshit. You need to change the social determinants of health. And the change doesn't come from your fucking government. The government are never going to do that. It's in our hands to not lose our humanity. It's not to say not have boundaries. I don't believe in all that social justice fucking crap. You fucking do something wrong, you're fucking responsible for you, and you will pay the fucking consequences of it. That's the way life works. Life is fucking painful. You need to wake up and fucking dive into the fucking pain. It'll make you who you are. How do you think they make a strong fucking blade back in the samurai times? From constantly firing it, stressing it, to make it harder and harder and harder. Because guess what? COVID was just the beginning of this maniacal fucking plan of these fucking crazy. They're crazy. They're criminally insane. And right now, they're holding on to the fucking reins. And all of these problems that you're seeing are designed, manufactured, and they all have the same root, to kill you. To steal your shit and to kill you. It's eugenics. Who gets to live, who doesn't. Soon it'll be the machine. If you're not the machine, you're not as good as a machine. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fucking machine. Ain't no fucking empathy in a machine, and I ain't being turned into a machine. Right? When I see this stuff, it breaks my heart. Because guess what? It could be you. It could be you. Don't ever think it can't. I met people on the street. One of my people that I worked with, this elderly lady, who had been an alcoholic for a long time, had 2 fucking degrees, right? She worked for the fucking government. And she's out the fucking street panhandling. Fuck, and mente gone. Completely gone. Completely. So the things that I tell you about isn't because I read it in a fucking book. I experienced it. Be safe out there. And you guys doing drugs, oh my God, you're playing fucking Russian fucking roulette if you're buying it on from any of it. Because the government shit that they're giving you is full, I'm sure, of technology. I know it's in the fucking, I know it is. I know it. Nobody can tell me any different. Long, but this is a long fucking rant. Is there hope? Always fucking hope. Hope is in love. Hope is in hope. Having hope and seeing beyond that. and that people will wake up and see what they're going. Older people my age, wake the fuck up, because you're in the same fucking, got the dart on your fucking back, just like the fucking drug addicts and the homeless, right? Don't think you don't, because they lump you all fucking in together. We're all lumped in together with a fucking target on our back. Keep yourself strong. Don't expect your government to fucking help you when you need fucking help. They won't. They'll introduce you to MAID, and they'll introduce it at a time when you're weak. Wake up. Fight for your grandchildren. Fight for your great-grandchildren. This is not right what they're doing. It's wrong.